Hello, my name is Steven from Buy To It Radios, and if you ever wondered what it's like to see a radio get dropped in the ground and potentially shattered into a million pieces, well today, we got the video for you. Alright, the first radio we have is the S88G in the color of Earth at 5 feet. So as you can see, radio still turns on, still will transmit. There's the impact zone right there. The S88G passes on the 5-foot test. Next up, we have the Q10H in the color green at 5 feet. The battery falling out was merely a defense mechanism from this radio. As you can tell, the radio functions, able to function. So now we are testing the Q10G in red at 5 feet. You can see the radio is still on. Point of impact for this radio is right there on the bottom. Not much damage, as you can see. The next test we have the 935G Plus at 5 feet. As you can see, the radio is still on. Impact zone right there by the battery. Now we have the S88G at 10 feet. As you can see, the S88G is holding strong from that 10-foot drop. Now here we have the Q10H green at 10 feet. Holding strong. Now we have the Q10G at 10 feet.
That one had a spin to it.
Did have a spin move. (935G Plus) at 10 feet. Looks like the radio is turned on. And here we have the S88G in Earth. Again, tossing it up to about a height of 18-20 feet, to colliding with this roof, and then coming down to hardened concrete. Let's see how it survives. As you can see, this radio is still working, still kicking. Some of the impact zones right here in the bottom by the battery. And it looks like on the antenna here. Antenna still on screws. I'd say this S88G passed that torture test. Now we have the Q10H in green. There it goes. We can see on that collision the antenna was bent. You can see. Bent antenna. However, the radio, like the Q10G, still transmitting. And this time, instead of colliding with the volume knob and the channel changing knob, it collided with the antenna there. It bent the antenna a little bit. Functionally, still functions. Some of the impact zones. As well as right here. As you can see, actually, on taking this out, the antenna actually bent and not the actual radio. It's square. So in this test, this Q10H functionally, I think that's a pass. All right, this is the Q10G. Let's see how it performs. From such a test, that was a pretty hard collision with the roof there. And as you can see, the buttons, the fascia buttons that were sticking out, they did break. But I also want to add, the radio is still transmitting. The functionality of the radio is still working. Now, although you wouldn't be able to change the volume or the channel with the channel knobs, the radio will still work. Here is some of the impact zones. Impact zones. Here we have the 935G. Same test. Let's see how it does. As you can see, the radio is still technically two pieces. However, simply pushing back this knob puts it back to fully operational status. You can see the knob still works. I'm able to change the channels and it will turn the radio on and off. And I key up the radio and it transmits. Some of the impact zones, it looks like it collided right here on the side next to the antenna, as well as right here in the bottom. As you can see from this particular Wouxun lineup of the Q10G, the Q10H, the S88, and the 935G Plus, they passed the 5-foot test and the 10-foot test onto hard concrete, and they all function with very minimal damage, I might add. With Buy Two-Way radios, we strive to always give you the best products. We stand behind our products. This test shows that. If you go to purchase one of these radios, you can be comfortable in the fact that they're going to survive a 10-foot test. Although we don't recommend you test them yourselves and drop them from 10 feet. As you can see, they will survive. Then one last thing I want to add for these tests, they all perform admirably. But I can say the batteries popped out of most of them. And at the 10-foot test, the 935G Plus really held strong and it stayed firm. So for this test, I'm going to say the 935G Plus came out on the overall top. Buy Two-Way radios out. Man, I really thought one of these would break. I'm not sure how to test. I guess I got tossed up in the air, but I'm afraid it's going to hit the camera or something.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Huh.
Why do we have to sell such good products?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just, that's what happens when you buy from Two-Way radios.